raining or it's not snowing. And we just welcome you all here. Thank you all for coming. We're really pleased with the turnout today. And I'm going to ask Jim Barber if he would come and give us an invocation. I just want to say to you, the flowers in the middle of the table, whosever birthday at your table is closest to today takes that home with them. Please welcome Jim Barber with our invitation.
Right, we're glad that you're all here today. Let's have a word of prayer, shall we? Father, we thank you for an opportunity to gather here today. We thank you for the food that's provided and ask that you would bless it to our use. Lord, we thank you for Farm Bureau and for this organization. We thank you for those who are in public service, for those who have served and those who are seeking to serve. We pray for wisdom. And Lord, we just ask your blessing on our time together in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now, we have Rachel Grosvenor, who is our current Susquehanna County Dairy Princess. Also, Pennsylvania alternate, first alternate to serve in Pennsylvania. Please welcome and hear what she has to say.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me today. This is actually my second opportunity to speak at the Farm Bureau, and the speaker always feels extra good when she's asked to come back, so I don't know if you're just flattering me or you just need to fill the time, but I'm happy to be here today. I promise I won't speak too long because I know you're probably all getting hungry, but I do have a little story for you. And also just a little update on my year. My county reign is almost coming to a close. I'll give up my county crown here in May, and that's going to be a little bit of a sad day for me, but I will be the state alternate until almost the end of September. So it's kind of been a whirlwind year, what with school and work and dairy and all over the place, but it's been such an incredible opportunity for me to meet new people and to be new places, driving new places, like downtown Lancaster is not the most fun part of my job, but meeting everyone that are at these places is amazing. So when I heard that there were going to be people here that are running for public office, and I was going to be speaking to the Farm Bureau, I found this little story that I thought was kind of very appropriate for both parties here, so I hope you enjoy it. I've done it hundreds of times. The gate is either too far away or too stiff for me to get open. So up and over the barbed wire I have to climb. When I was little, my daddy would part the wires for me to crawl through. His big, strong hands covered the barbs so that I could slide through unscathed. But sooner or later, I had to learn how to get myself through that fence. At first, I would carefully stretch the wires apart, send one leg through, and then duck my head and put the other leg through. But as I grew taller, I noticed square-cornered tears on the back of my shirts. Now I can climb over the fence just like Daddy. I push down the wire, swing one leg over, and smoothly fall over the other leg. Occasionally, though, my pants still get snagged. Those little barbs seem to grow 3 inches while I'm over that wire. Ripped blue jeans may not be acceptable garb for most places, but on the farm, they fit in just fine. I wear my wranglers until they practically fall off. The only place that they're not allowed is on my mom's couch. No exceptions. When your turn comes to try and climb over that barbed wire, be warned, they're tricky. Grasp the wire, shove it down as low as it'll go, swing one leg over, and then the other. But don't blame me if you find tears in your pants. And it's a really cute story, and I've always loved this little story because, I mean, we can all relate if we've ever had to climb over a barbed wire fence. But it also just shows the determination that farmers and people that are running need to have and do have. Life always throws us little curves and bumps in the road, but if we have the determination and the desire to get to that end goal, we'll always climb over. We may get a few rips in our pants or our shirts, but we always come back out on the other side almost unscathed. So that's just kind of my take-home message a little bit, is just Keep pushing through. It can get challenging as you go along, but I just really appreciate all that you guys are doing for the public, for farmers, and for the Susquehanna County. And now if you want to grab your milk, I have a little milk toast. Please raise your milk and join me in a toast. To the beloved dairy cow, always chewing her cud and providing us with nutritious and delicious milk. To Pennsylvania dairy farmers who work day in and day out caring for their cattle, for having patience when that fresh heifer keeps kicking off the milker or staying up all night to make sure the cow delivers her set of twins safely. To other dedicated individuals who make up the dairy industry as well, veterinarians, nutritionists, milk truck drivers, insurance agents, dairy promoters, and many others who work alongside dairy farms ensuring us safe and wholesome dairy products. To all of those running for county office, I wish you good luck. May your campaign be run with integrity and ease, and may you be successful. And lastly, to the Susquehanna County Farm Bureau, thank you for all that you do to support the dairy industry. Cheers.
Cheers.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and again, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Rachel. You've done a great job. I read about you in the papers, and we're going to miss your reign, but there's always someone new coming along, and it's a great tribute to Susquehanna County to have this program and to have the beautiful young women that participate in the Dairy Princess Court to represent us. I do have a flower for you. I see the Montrose Bible Conference staff is waiting right there in the back, and I think the food table is ready for us to partake. So they will dismiss by tables to form lines at both sides, Jim. I would like to acknowledge present position holders here in the county. We have Alan Paul and Mary Ann Warren, who are present county commissioners. Alan and Mary Ann. We had thought that Mary Evans, who is our registered recorder, she had made reservations, but she's not feeling so good today. I would also like to thank and welcome all of our candidates here today. We'd like to thank you for your presence. Thank you for your ads in our dinner booklet, and thank you for items that were donated to us for the Chinese auction. The proceeds of the Chinese auction help us here in the county to support Pennsylvania Friends of Ag Foundation. We pay for teachers from the county schools to go to the Ag in the Classroom week-long conference. We also provide incentives to our county schools to have them contract for the mobile Ag Ed Science Lab to come into the schools for a week and teach the elementary kids. It's fabulous. I've gone there and volunteered my time to help the teachers. Everything in agriculture and from our local perspective, it's just getting so far removed for so many of our young people. This is a wonderful tool to educate them on agriculture. Today, I've just got the report, $535 was collected from the Chinese auction. So that will go towards those two projects. I hope that you will take time to read the dinner booklet. Boyd Manzer, who is our county newsletter editor, and he does the editing and preparing of this booklet. Boyd is on oxygen full-time. You go to his house and he's got the long cord and he can go all over in his house. But he puts this booklet together and I think he does a great job. But all of the activities, I think they're pretty well all covered. Our activities and programs that Susquehanna County Farm Bureau has accomplished since our annual fall meeting last November. One thing I'd just like to bring you up to speed on, Emma Hinckley, who is here, she is our Farmers Care Coordinator, and this is a program where we collect money and grocery or cleaning products to the Scranton Ronald McDonald House. So I just wanted to let you know that some of us were at the Scranton Ronald McDonald House on April 18th, and we presented them with $881 in monetary funds, and there was wish list items in that too. Plus another $287 worth of grocery items were donated to the Hot Bottoms Kingsley United Methodist Church food pantry that we serve people in need in our county. So just to update you on that. All right. I'm going to call on Dave Williams. Dave is with our fellow Wayne Pike County Farm Bureau, and he is District 1 State Rep. Dave?
A lot of people ask me if Donna is any relation of mine because she has a son by the name of David Williams, okay? But we're not, but I'd be proud to be part of her family. She's been a great leader over the years, and it's been great working with her. I'm going to talk about something different today. I'm going to talk about the next generation. I think it's really what we're all about. I think whether you're in the Farm Bureau, earlier today I seen a young man, I think he's here, Boy Scout. Where is that?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, yeah. Let's give him a hand. Boy Scouts, whether it's agriculture, whether, gratefully enough, there's 20 of the people that are looking to run for political office here today. It's about community. That's what it's really about. 15 years ago, I got pretty heavily involved in the Farm Bureau. And the man that actually had this job before, named Harlan Schaefer, who passed away a few weeks ago, came to me and said, and I wasn't very big in the Farm Bureau at all. I was a mentor, and that was about it. I wasn't on the board or nothing else. He said, David, we need somebody to do radio or television. I said, well, you're not going to be able to afford to do television. And I was involved in a lot of things. I was vice president of the fair, the president of the Antique Machinery Association, and we put on shows at all the different fairs, and I did the narrating in that. And so anyhow, it started. And 15 years ago, we started a radio show through Farm Bureau. And it was at 5 o'clock in the morning. About 1,500 listeners. Within 3 months, that grew to about 5 stations. Last I know, we're on about 30 stations today. We're the biggest ag broadcasters in Pennsylvania. We're actually in many, many counties, including the biggest counties, such as Lancaster and all. We're on 6 days a week. And we broadcast in 45 counties in New York and Pennsylvania. But over them years, my wife gave me half for volunteering for anything. Right? But every time I volunteer, I know it's more work in the beginning, but I'm always amazed, right? And this is how Farm Bureau is. And anything else, whether it's Boy Scouts or whatever it might be, don't be afraid to take that job. Because you know what it really means? If you have an outlook in life, those people that all of a sudden are going to come out and realize you're doing a good job, are going to be your help. And they're going to carry that initiative right on until you're no longer here. And that's what it's all about. Donna and I, we've been friends for many years. She was the first Farm Bureau president, woman president of county in the whole state. And she's always given me good advice. When I first became Farm Bureau director, state director, I realized it was a big job. And she gave me the little hints on how to do things. You know, I didn't know it all. None of us do. But what I'm really trying to get at, for young people, and I see some of them in this room today, don't be afraid to go on a board. Don't be afraid, no matter what it is, to move ahead and take a position. There's always people like Donna to help you. So, excuse me, we have 3 years ago, I'm sorry, we started doing a lot for the Farm Show. And, well, it was actually 5 years ago. 3 years ago, the Farm Show directors came to me and asked me if I would become the boards of agriculture being at Penn State. Actually put them forward to fill that position for radio and send out the transcripts to different radio stations. Last year, to show you how that job, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be running from one end of this building 24 acres, 24 hours a day just to get the job done. At the same time, RFD-TV, Patrick Gosch, that owns that, the Family Channel, called me up and asked me to be a reporter for Pennsylvania for RFD-TV. So I accepted that job. And as it went on, my wife was still screaming at me. But last year, to show you how it works, I had 3 interns. I had the easiest year I'd ever had at the Farm Show because new people were coming. One of them people were actually, as soon as she gets out of college, she goes to Delaware Valley College. Patrick came to her and gave her his card. He says, I want you to come to work for RFD when you graduate. Every one of them students got a job before they left my internship or their internship with me. And what it means to me is what Farm Bureau started, what I continued on to do, will be carried on for many years. So, thank you.
We have Bonnie Latterette here, and Bonnie is the sister, the Farm Bureau woman from Wayne Pike County Farm Bureau. Bonnie is the PFB State Women's Leadership chairperson, and she'd like to share a few words.
Thank you, Donna. I'm Bonnie Latterette from Wayne Pike County, and I'm the chair of the Pennsylvania Women's Leadership Committee. If you turn to page 6 and 7 in your booklet, I'd like to thank Cheryl for putting this report together. She talked about the activities that are going on with the Women's Leadership Committee. Something I'd like to add to her list is we met in Camp Hill this past week on Wednesday and Thursday. We put together, went over the program and worked in the budget for the Women's Leadership Committee. But I think everybody on the committee is a mom. And we had decided to look out for the Collegiate Farm Bureau members in Farm Bureau. There are 11 Collegiate Farm Bureau members in Penn State, and there are 6 Collegiate Farm Bureau members in Delaware Valley College. And what we did was we put together little care packages for them. And Laura Brenner is going to deliver them May 2nd to the kids at Penn State and on April 27th to the kids at Delaware Valley. And we're just kind of looking after them. They're going to be facing finals coming up shortly, and just sent them some little goodies to encourage them and help them out. Donna had spoke about Farmers Care, and we need to change the number on this because she had mentioned Susquehanna County had donated $881 in goods to the Scranton Ronald McDonald House. But as a district, which includes Wayne and Pike County and Susquehanna and Wyoming-Lackawanna County, a total of $2,888 to that was donated to the Ronald McDonald House in Scranton last week on April 18th. One other thing that recently came about was that Ag Choice Farm Credit gave the YFNR and the Women's Leadership Committee $2,500. We needed to decide where were we going to use this $2,500. So going back to the grassroots of Farm Bureau, we decided to take a look at our mission statement and what our purpose was. And the purpose of the Women's Leadership Development Committee is to identify, recruit, and guide farmers members into meaningful roles in their county Farm Bureau. So we had decided to put together an East and West Women's Leadership Workshop. The one on the eastern part of the state is going to be held in Hazleton on September 12th at the Best Western, and the one in the western part of the state is going to be in Mercer County, and that one's going to be on August 29th. Let's see what else we got on here. Okay, I talked to you that we worked on the budget this past week. Farmtastic book, that's mentioned in the program. The book this year is called The Apple Orchard Riddle. We do have 4 books for sale. They're $10 each, and they are gone. Debbie said she'd be willing to take orders. We're putting an order together at the beginning of May, so we can order more books. The Women's Leadership Committee had purchased 1,000 books. We only have 60 left of the 1,000, so we're going to put another order in for anybody that would like to. And I hope you had a chance to read this book, but it's about a class that went on a bus trip to the apple orchard. And one of the students that got off the bus was a little slower than the rest of the kids. And they had to find the answer to the riddle, and I won't give the answer away. You'll have to read the book and find out for yourself. Great gifts, too. I thoroughly enjoyed working on the Women's Leadership Committee. I've been a member of the State Women's Leadership Committee for the past 8 years and the past 2 years as chairperson. I've also been part of the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau's State Board as the Women's Leadership Chair. At each board meeting, I have to give a report about what's going on in the counties and districts with the Women's Leadership Committee. My term will be ending in November on the Women's Leadership Committee. I will be seeking election to the State Board as your district director in November. Thank you. Thank you, Donna.
We also have James Barber here, and Jim is the first vice president of Susquehanna County Farm Bureau. And Jim has been named to be on the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau State Ag Promotion Committee. And Jim has some thoughts to share.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. The Ag Promotion Committee is a relatively new committee, but we recognize the need for promotion and education. Chris Hoffman is the vice president of Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. He is the chair of our committee. I'm the vice chair. We're doing a variety of things around the state, a variety of projects. One of the main things that we've been involved with is the mobile ag labs. If you got to go to the farm show this year, our newest mobile ag lab debuted there. And we have 6 of them around the state. They go around the state. Basically, it's a mobile science ag lab classroom where the students can come out and spend time in that ag lab and doing science projects that educate them about farming and agriculture. We also, with the new one that was added, as we took one unit off that was in the worst state, so now we have another new one. We also had finances to begin another project. Inner city schools, there's no place to park a big 5th-wheel trailer. So now we are able to put together a new program with actually an SUV that will be more mobile, can go into the inner cities, and then the teacher can take the materials into a classroom so that we can do inner city work. So that will be starting this fall in the new school year. We'll be targeting Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Harrisburg. And the second wave will involve the Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, Scranton Valley area here, and Altoona. So we're excited about that. Promotion and education, things that we do is involving county fairs and a lot of different venues just to get the word out. It concerns us when people say, I don't care what happens to the farmer, I get my food from the store. That's a problem. So we realize what a great task we have to educate people. So we're always looking for projects along those lines. We work very closely with the Ag Foundation, and it's just a great project. Also, I would like to share with you, and I appreciate Bonnie sharing that, many of you are here because there's a competition over slots to be had for political offices. Dave Williams is an interim now because of a vacancy, and so he is fulfilling the term on our state board until November. And then there will be election, and as Bonnie announced her, she is running for that state board position, and I am as well. So we'll be seeking support when it comes to November, and Hershey for that state board position. So we appreciate that. Thanks so much for your time.
I want you folks to know that this Susquehanna County Farm Bureau has a great board of directors. There are 12 of us right now. We still need to fill a slot for Bridgewater Township. Someone who's a member in Bridgewater Township. But I'd like to have, and then I think they're all here today except two. There was a card for people to sign for Tom Helmsley. Tom Helmsley just had heart surgery. He is home and he's doing good, but not well enough to be here today. So I'd like our Susquehanna County Farm Bureau Board of Directors to please stand so people can identify you. Come on. Jim, Debbie, Joe. Thank you. They're a great bunch to work with. We get a lot accomplished. And since the year I became president in 1996, since the year 2000, Susquehanna County Farm Bureau has been named the All-Star County Farm Bureau in the state of Pennsylvania 8 times. 3 times we've submitted programs to American Farm Bureau, and we have been the winner 3 times of American Farm Bureau awards. So I'm really proud of them, and they're just, God has blessed our county association, and you folks that are members have been blessed also by the leadership involved in our county farm bureau. We have somebody here today, and I imagine most of you folks know it. Harold and Frances Gill. And they are celebrating their 75th wedding anniversary. Going to the camera, my sister Debbie. Harold and Frances have been staunch supporters and volunteers in the Farm Bureau for years and years and years. And Debbie is giving him a sign that says, proud member of the Susquehanna County Farm Bureau. And they're weather resistant, that can be outside, put outside. So congratulations, Harold and Frances. You're a great example. This year's been a great year for Susquehanna County Farm Bureau. On February 19th, we reached our regular member goal, and on March 31st, we reached the total membership goal for 2015. And that's the earliest we've been able to do that. I'd like Joe Decker and over here, Joe. Now here's a man that I think is 92. 91. 92 in October. We were just presented this. You're gonna have to go that way. Yeah, so you don't fall off. We were presented this at a big Farm Bureau meeting because we were the first county to reach our total goal. Got it, want to hold it up? I don't want to be in this, Janet. I already got her, Janet. Now, on top of that, while they're up here, I'd like to ask David Payne to come up. Come on, Dave. Come on. One's a little bit higher. David was a new fella to get involved in our membership campaign. And he signed up 13 new members for the year 2015. And I want to about it, Dave Williams has talked about it, about new, younger people coming in, getting involved, and I know he's got some gray up here, but you're still quite a bit younger than I am. So we encourage new blood, new, younger people to come and get involved in the Farm Bureau and to be a part of our team. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dave. Now, something we always do, I have Farm Bureau license plates here, and anybody that's here today that is a new 2015 member, I would like to have those people come up, and I do have a list of names that I know people are here and I could have missed somebody, but I do know Betsy Arnold, Chuck Bullock, Robert Klein, Jason Miller, Marion O'Malley, and Frank Mikowski. Have I missed anybody that is a new 2015 member in Farm Bureau? Okay. Great. Come on here, Jason. Oh, well, nice to meet you, Marion. You've changed a little bit. Thank you so much. Auction people are gone to another table to be picking the winners, but we also know that we have 20 candidates here that everybody, maybe you know them all and maybe you don't, but this is your chance to hear from them and what they have to say. Joe Plonski, who is our political education coordinator, has pulled this all together for today, and so I'm going to turn the oh, all right, I'm sorry. Bob, perhaps you had something on membership? I'm sorry. Got it.
That's okay, Donna. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us. My name is Bob Perhax, and I'm the Regional Organization Director for the 9 counties in the Northeast. I, too, want to talk a little bit about membership. Susquehanna County did a fantastic job this year. Like Donna said, first in the region to reach regular goal, and the first in the region to reach total goal. And it was truly a team effort this year. The board of directors and the membership committee really worked together to get the county to goal. And we had 2 membership co-chairs this year. On the western side of the county was Alton Arnold, and on the eastern side was Joe Decker. And because they reached their goal, I have a presentation for them today. they were going to be awarded a Pennsylvania Farm Bureau embroidered shirt. So if Alton and Joe would come up here, I'd like to present those shirts to you at this time. Here's what these shirts look like. It says Farm Bureau Proud on it. I know we have a full slate here on today on the program, so I just want to say a few more things about membership and then talk a little bit about the youth conference. Then I'll turn the meeting back over to Donna. I'd like to recognize individuals this year that signed new members. And when I call your name, if you want to stand and be recognized, that would be great. First of all, David Payne, Alton Arnold, Joe Decker, Donna Williams, Jerry Belcher, Dave DeLeon, John Benscooter, Bill Brooks, Pauline Fallon, Mickey Klim, Cheryl Matalevich, Emma Hinckley, Catherine Hines, and Todd Gruber. Let's give those folks a round of applause. And then for helping with the renewals this year, I'd like to thank the entire board of directors and also Barb Rosel, Bill Ward, Bill Bain, Lillian Theophanis, Jeannie Jane, Nancy Decker, George Hayes, and Mike Redding. So those individuals also contributed and did a great job. Also want to thank your nationwide agents that signed new members this year, Rich Freesock, Chris Mancy, Josh Epstein, and Charles Castro Giovanni, and also Rick Lee. So thank you to them. Just to kind of give you a recap of in our region made gold this week. In addition to Susquehanna County reaching their goal, Columbia, Luzerne, and Wayne Pike have also reached their goal. And the other two counties in the region are working on reaching their goals. And statewide, we have 4 out of the 8 regions that have reached goal, and currently the state needs only 55 more members to reach its regular member goal. Now, the only other thing I'd like to talk about this afternoon is our FACE Youth Conference. That is a conference that has been going on now for, I think this is the 6th year, and at the moment, Susquehanna County does not have any students that have registered. So I'm asking your help in this endeavor. We're looking for at least 2 students that are currently in high school. So anybody who's a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. It's a great conference. It's held for an entire week down at Bucknell University. Bucknell University is a beautiful has a beautiful campus. If you know of any students in the county that are going to go on to study at college, what a great way for them to get for a first-hand look at the college experience. You know, they're going to stay at the dorm, they're going to eat at the cafeteria, and you know, they'll get an idea what college life is like. But the conference is really a good program. We ask the students to pick a commodity excuse me, that they're interested in, whether it be dairy or equine, maybe horticulture, maybe pork, maybe poultry. And we team them up with other students that have that same commodity interest throughout the state. And then they meet every day and try to come up with an idea for a 4 or 5 minute commercial for their particular commodity. And at the end of the week, they present that commercial. And the kids get really creative with a smartphone or a camera and some software, and they do a great job with these commercials. In addition to the commercials, when they're in their groups, they talk about issues involving in their commodities. And it could be a serious issue, it could be kind of a fun issue, but we have a mock Pennsylvania legislature that's set up during that week. And so some of the students go into the legislature, and these issues that are brought up in these commodity groups go over to the legislature, and they develop bills. And throughout the conference week, there may be 20 to 25 bills that are introduced. And from those bills, at the end of the conference, the kids, they'll pick out about 10 or 12 bills to vote on at the end of the conference. So they get to learn a little bit about the political process. And so like I say, some of the bills are fun, and some of them are serious. 2 years ago, we had some students that said, you know, hey, we have some really good students that are here, and why don't we develop, maybe, you know, throw in some legislation about a scholarship fund. And it was voted on at the end of the week, and of course, our director, Mr. Sally, said, you know, I think we can make that happen. I think we can get some money from some ag businesses and so forth. So last year we presented the very first $1,000 scholarship to one of the past participants at the FACE conference. But there's other fun stuff to do at the conference. There is lots of team building and activities, free time to play volleyball, frisbee, basketball. There's an ag Olympics, there's a picnic, there's a movie night, and there's a dance. So there's lots of fun stuff to do there. So if you know of any students in Susquehanna County that would be interested in this conference, I have some literature up on the table up here. It's June 15th to the 19th. And I know in Wayne and Pike County, we're struggling to get some students to attend because their school year hasn't been extended because of snow days. And a lot of those students will not have that opportunity. So appreciate your help in that regard. And I'm sure if you would like to get involved in any way with Susquehanna County Farm Bureau, please see Donna Williams or Jim Barber or any one of the board directors, and you can help them in all their different programs and activities. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, our budget in Susquehanna County Farm Bureau, we have the funds there to send at least 2 students to the FACE conference. So we would welcome any input, and if you have someone that you know, we would be glad to know that. Okay, I think it's time to have Joe Plonski come up here and start our Meet the Candidate Forum. I think he's going to proceed, and then once our Chinese auction people know, oh, you already know?
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, we've got some people here.
The letter. You will have a time slot. Do about 5 minutes. 4 minutes is going to be, the bell is going to ring on you. And so you better be done, or you're going to be shifted off. You introduce yourself, comment on the role of the office you have, and you are seeking, and how it affects Susquehanna County. So, in other words, it all boils down in a real nutshell to all the people here. Why should I vote for you? And that's why you're all here. So I'm not going to go on with anything too much about Farm Bureau because very conveniently Donna and all the rest of them have taken and spoke about whatever Farm Bureau has done in the past and will do. But I'll just speak a few things to the candidates. I have some words of wisdom here, and then we'll get going. Like Dwight Eisenhower always said, inform yourselves of the issues of each office, make decisions for you as representatives, not as yourself. And Dwight said, politics ought to be part-time job professions of every citizen. And of course, Mr. Lincoln wisely said, many people can deal with adversity, but give a person power and it will show their character. So just heed those words and think about it. What you decide will never impact your life as much as how you handle the consequences of that decision. So when the defining moment comes along, you define the moment, or the moment's going to define you. So in those simple words, we're going to get going on our candidates and have them speak. Like I said, it's going to be timed, and you hit the 4-minute mark, you will be off the podium. Okay, so we're going to start to meet the candidates now. Our first candidate running for county commissioner, Michael Reddy. Would you please come up and speak?
Good afternoon, folks. You know, it just seemed like it was yesterday when I was on my dad's farm. These two young people, these young gentlemen came in. One was Bob Curley and one was Jim Barber. That was 30 years ago when I joined Farm Bureau. And it's been a pleasure because I was fortunate enough to represent Farm Bureau at the Delegates Convention at Penn State in the years gone by. I'd like to introduce my children. Michael, Mary, and Marissa. Would you please stand up? Mary and Marissa, they're honor students. My son Michael, Junior Firefighter of the Year at Silver Lake, and an Eagle Scout candidate. Thank you very much. One of the criteria for the discussion today was, why is Mike Redding qualified to be Susquehanna County Commissioner? And that's a great question, Joe. The reason is because fortunately enough, I was able to serve for 8 years on the school board at Elk Lake, and I was fortunate enough to serve for 7 years on the Susquehanna County VOTEC board. Big boards, big decisions, big budgets, salary negotiation, unions. I've made the tough decisions in the past. I can make the tough decisions in the Commissioner's office. Just a few of the memberships. Again, Farm Bureau for 30 years, Silver Lake Rod and Gun Club, BSA, Boy Scouts of America, nominating district. And one of them close to my heart is the Silver Lake Volunteer Fire Company. My brothers and sisters, firefighters, that are supporting this campaign. Thank you very much. My son Michael brought up an issue about, I would say it was 2 weeks ago. And that issue was, we're so fortunate here in the United States to be able to have a forum of candidates. And the reason of that being is because men and women on the shores all over the world sacrifice their lives for those freedoms. Folks, any people that have been in the military, would you please stand up? Is there any? EMS people in our crowd today, would you please stand up? You're the modern day heroes. Thank you for your service. In closing, I want to thank Farm Bureau. It's been a pleasure to be with Farm Bureau for 30 years. May the 19th, I'd appreciate and humbly ask for your support. Thank you very much.
The next speaker will be running for county commissioner, Julianne Skinner.
Thank you, Bill. I'm so pleased to be next because my son Shay has got to skedaddle. My name is Julianne Skinner, J-U-L-A-N-N-E, no I, Skinner like the A little bit about myself. The most important thing to me has been and continues to be family. I've been a stay-at-home mom for a time, and I've raised 3 children. My oldest son, Garrett, served on the USS Cole after it was recommissioned. He is presently in the defense industry in Washington. My son Shay graduated from the University of Pittsburgh in 3 years and walked away with a Phi Beta Kappa key. He has served in internships in Senator Robert Casey's office, an internship in Senator Smith out in Allegheny County, and most recently as an intern with the Office of the District Attorney for Susquehanna County. Our DA has viewed Shay as nothing but exemplary, which I'm so pleased. My daughter Haley will graduate. Haley is not here today because she's competing at Lehigh University for debate. Haley will graduate from Elk Lake. She is valedictorian of her class, and like her brother, a master debater. She will go to Florida in 2 weeks' time to compete. She will go to Gettysburg University with nearly a full ride, and Shay will go on to Villanova to study law with a full ride. As you might have guessed by now, by my parental guidance, education is highly valued. I hold 2 undergraduate degrees, political science and secondary education from the University of Scranton. I have a master's degree in public administration from Marywood University. This particular field of study will allow me to perform the duties associated with the Office of Commissioner. Upon graduation, I received the Walton Medal for exemplary work during my coursework there. I have lived in the county for 23 years. My volunteer work includes work for the library, garden club, but near and dear to my heart, the League of Women Voters. I served as president for the League 2009 to 2012, when I had to step down to serve Borough Council, an office that I presently hold. While with the League, we have done several Meet the Candidates events. We did, as a public service to the community, 5 very well-attended forums educating the public on Marcellus Shale. Thank you very much. I have 1 minute left. More recently, I served the state meet performing grant work, and it was outreach, U.S. Department of Transportation grant in Berks, Bucks, Lehigh, and Northampton County. I say this to illustrate my experience with grant work and the attention to detail and meticulous attention that grant work and government work, when you're spending government money, you need to adhere to. Finally, I ask for your support. In conclusion, I ask you to vote on May 19, and I believe I do hold the qualifications to serve you well. Thank you very much.
Next speaker will be Frank Plonski for County Commission.
Welcome, friends and neighbors. My name is Frank J. Plonski, and I am a candidate on the Republican side running for Susquehanna County Commissioners. It's a privilege and an honor, and I'm very humbled to be here before you to represent all the people of this county. Many of you know me as a professional, being the broker, owner, appraiser of Country Landmarks Real Estate here in Montrose. Next year marks the 40th year that I've consecutively worked full-time in that profession. As the broker owner, I deal with financial issues and offer guidance to my clients on a daily basis. I currently serve as a township supervisor in my township, Forest Lake. It's a privilege to stand before my local residents also and represent their best interests and concerns. As a township auditor, I have lowered the township taxes in our township by 1/3. We have improved the buildings, we've added buildings, we've built new buildings, we've improved the borough park. We've upgraded most, if not all, of our equipment. I represent my township in the Northern Tier Coalition, which consists of about 15 different townships and municipalities. I am, or was formerly the liaison officer when our township had police coverage with Silver Lake Township and Montrose Borough. As a township representative supervisor, I assist in preparing the budget. I assist in writing contracts. I assist and support our local fire company and those fire companies that support our township. And I assist them in writing grants. I've also served as a Forest Lake Township auditor over the past 35 years. And at one point, I served on a local bank advisory board with Donna Williams. And Donna knows my reputation and my thoroughness as a bank board member. As a bank board member, we had the ability to review and make loans. We've also created policy for the bank, and we promoted not only the bank's best interest, but our community's interest also. As I'm going out campaigning, there are a number of different topics that I hear repeatedly. Some of them affect the Farm Bureau, namely the extension of the Clean Water Act of about 2013. Initially, the Clean Water Act was started about 1948. It was expanded in 1972. President Nixon tried to veto that. Congress overruled him, and we have a Clean Water Act. Currently, if you're not familiar with it, the Clean Water Act wants to extend their ability to control not only navigable streams, but all water. And it affects farmers, it affects townships, it affects everybody. Other topics that I hear as I'm out and about is the preservation of the impact fees. Last week I was putting up signs, and I happened to be passing by Route 167 south and 706, and I saw Channel 12's TV camera set up there. I spun my vehicle around. I asked if I could be interviewed, and my comment was to keep the impact fees here locally where the actual impact occurs. And if you don't think we have an impact here, please drive over our roads. I do thank you for your support and consideration. I do thank you for your support and consideration. We have 22 good candidates, and all of them are winners. Thank you.
Just to enlighten you all that I'm not giving any preference to anybody here with the minutes. I have a timekeeper here, and Mr. Barber is my timekeeper, so he's right on top of it, so all I have to do is look at him, and if your time's running short, I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, the next candidate, Edna Pashkoff, for County Commissioner.
I'm going to talk real fast. My name is Edna Pashkoff. I'm running for County Commissioner. As you can tell by my accent or yours, I didn't get born here. I was born in New York City, actually Brooklyn, New York. We have a Brooklyn here, so it's close enough. Politically, I am a constitutional conservative and I am a Republican. I have a Bachelor of Science degree from Excelsior College in New York, and I have a paralegal certificate from Nassau College in New York. I started working when I was 16. I took college credit courses that I took in accounting, became a bookkeeper for a construction union in New York. I need not tell you about that. I later became a media barter associate, where I controlled barter inventories for a media firm. I owned my own businesses, 2 of them. They were successful, but they were more than I wanted to handle. I became a paralegal by choice and by love. I thought I might want to become an attorney, and then decided that this is not for me. But I still like the law, sometimes. I'm very familiar with county, state, and federal issues, including matters of gun control, Agenda 21, the EPA regulations, which is the Clean Water Act and navigable waterways, etc., voter registration, voting issues, gas industry issues. I'm a political junkie. I believe in and work for open, transparent, respectful, and responsible government. I'm co-founder, this might get me, I'm co-founder of the only Tea Party group in Susquehanna County. It's called Northeast Pennsylvania Spirit of 1776. You know that if you've been to the Tax Day Tea Party in 2010, if you've been to the Second Amendment Rally on the Green in 2013, if you've been to any of our candidates forums, our Heritage Action forums, if you've been to our Right to Know seminars, if you've been to any of the video seminar presentations we made, you know about the Tea Party. I'm also a co-sponsor of rallies and town meetings in support of our congressman when he is considered to hold them. I'm an elected Republican committee woman for Forest Lake Township. I have attended and participated in almost every single commissioner's meeting for the past 4 years. I am the author of letters to the editor on important issues, and I have done things that nobody else has done. I was able to actually get the county commissioners to keep meeting records. They wouldn't take down minutes of meetings, so we just decided we would put them on YouTube. Your meetings are there and available for you even if you can never attend. All you need to do is go to YouTube. They're there. Whether you like what they say or not, they're still there and they'll be there forever. I was a volunteer for Freedom Works, where I assisted in the effort to get Tom Smith elected to office. I volunteered for True the Vote, and I spent weekends looking and passing over recall petitions against Governor Scott Walker. I'm a member of Tea Party Patriots, Heritage Action, Freedom Works, PA Grassroots Coalition, Judicial Watch, the American Policy Center, True the Vote, Hillsdale College supporter. And I believe in the notion of speaking truth to power. I believe that when something is wrong, it won't correct itself, and I take the initiative to make it happen. I'm concerned about the future of our county, and especially since Tom Wolf is governor, and he has a very progressive agenda. And I make this promise. I am capable of handling my own businesses. I am capable of handling a Tea Party organization that has 1,000 members. And if you choose to elect me, I promise that I will always ask these 3 voting checklist questions from Pastor Sam and Laura. When it comes to government, is it moral? Is it constitutional? Does it preserve individual freedom? Is it in the best interest of the general public? Is it necessary? Is there an efficient way or effective way to do it? And do we have the money to pay for it? And finally, I won't make promises I can't keep. Thank you for your time.
The next candidate for County Commissioner, Chuck Bullock.
I'm Chuck Bullock. I was born and raised in Auburn Township on a family farm. I learned good work ethic at a young age. My mom and dad both worked 30-some years at Bendix, so us kids ran the farm. 10 years old, I was milking 50 cows every night and morning before and after school. I went away to college, and the cows left the day before me. I was the youngest of our 4 kids. I went to Syracuse, graduated from Milk Lake, went to CCBI in Syracuse. I had a brother that was killed in an automobile accident in '76, and my parents begged me to move home. So I said to him, well, I'd consider it if I could find a job in my field. A week later, my dad called me up. He had an interview lined up. I come home and they hired me on the spot. I'm driving back to Syracuse saying, what have I done? But financially, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I've been a banker for 28 years. I retired from that. I became the jury commissioner here in Susquehanna County. After they done away with them, Judge Stevens came to me and asked me to become the jury manager. I felt comfortable about that. So I did that until I decided to run for county commission. I had to quit because I was working for the courts. I've been a committeeman for probably about 30 years. It was back when Joe was chairman of the party. I've been a township auditor. That's pretty much it. I appreciate any support I can get. If anybody would like a sign for their dooryard, I have some in the car. See me afterwards. And I thank you for your help.
Next candidate for county commissioner, Mr. Alan Hall.
Good afternoon, and thank you. Thank everybody for being here today. My name is Alan Hall. I'm sure most of you know me by now. I have been a lifelong resident of Susquehanna County, living in Halsted my entire life. I received my business degree from Wilkes University. I worked in the high-tech electronics industry for over 15 years in upper-level management. I've had some of my own businesses. I've worked in the recovery industry and management, worked in transportation industry and management. For the last 3 years, I've been your county commissioner. In '96, I became president of the Blue Ridge School Board and was on the school board for 11 years. The year I took over as school board president, actually the state auditor, who is now the commissioner for Sullivan County, Bob Getz, met with me and informed us that the district was $3 million in the red and was on the verge of being taken over, being recommended to be taken over by the state for financial mismanagement. We convinced him to give us another 6 months to try and turn things around. 11 years as board president, we never raised taxes, and when I left, they had over $3 million in the black and never had any problems. So we were very successful, but that success wasn't about me. That success was about a team. There's 9 people on a school board. It's about people working together. The same thing with the commissioner's office. It's not about I, it's about the team. It's about working with row offices, the other elected officials. It's about everybody coming together for a common goal to do what's right for the taxpayers and for the citizens of this county. We all work hard together to make right choices, to do the right things. It's not, again, about the individual. The commissioners in the last 3 years, working with the row officers, working with the other elected officials, have been able to accomplish a lot in the courthouse. We've got a beautiful project going on, $5 million project at no cost to the taxpayers in tax increases or borrowed money. We've got our pension funds straightened out, 100% funded. I've even had some of the state legislators trying to figure out how we could come to Harrisburg and help them do the same thing. We've made a lot of great accomplishments. We've improved the facilities. We've cut costs, 26% utility cost reductions. And it's about making the right choices. It's about working with vendors and getting them to partnership with us. Johnson Controls, agreeing to take and write us a check if we don't save that 26%. And that's a pretty good way to do business. So that $5 million project will have an $8 million payback within 7.5 years. That's a pretty good investment. I'd love to invest $5 million and make $8 million. Overall, with all the changes that are going on and the financial decisions that are made in those offices, currently right now could have a tax savings to the taxpayers of about $30 million. It's about decisions. It's about making the right decisions. And it's about knowing which decisions are yours and which decisions are not yours. It's about not trying to micromanage the other offices and micromanage the other elected officials. It's about taking care of the decisions that you're responsible for. It's about being available to our state legislators so that if they need some assistance from us in Harrisburg to testify at a hearing that they're doing, about getting up and going to Harrisburg and doing that. It's about making sacrifices personally in your own personal life to be available. This is not a part-time job anymore. This is not something you can do an hour a day, 5 days a week, and that's it. This is a 7-day-a-week job, and it requires a lot of time. So everybody needs to work together. So the team that I hope you put in there is a team that will work together and do what's best for the taxpayers. We need to keep moving forward. We have industrial parks ready to go. We're looking at getting those cranked up by the end of this year to bring jobs to our community. So thank you, and I hope for your support.
All right, next candidate for County Commissioner, Mary Ann Warren.
Thanks to everybody in the Farm Bureau for putting this on. I just want to say, yes, I look different. Over the last year that I've had, it was a pretty rough year. So I was pretty excited to announce my re-election bid in December, coming back. I actually missed helping the residents. I missed the courthouse. I missed what I got to do there. I missed being part of that team. So I decided to run again. And there's so many projects and opportunities that are still out there. We have to finish the renovations, technology, HVAC, the water line to South Montrose just to get water to the jail and hopefully to economic development there that's going to employ over 300 people. So we're pretty excited about that. And as your public servant for the last 11.5 years, I'm proud to serve because of the support I receive from you and to bring the experienced leadership and continuity of government to you. That's why I want to be reelected. County government revolves around having 2 commissioners agreeing, but your tax dollars are spent by 3 commissioners. 3 commissioners agreeing to spend your dollars on the things that you want done. So we don't work on roads. I know what you want done. First thing, roads. We don't work on roads. I'm sorry. The county owns like a quarter of a mile of a road. But we do have 32 bridges that need lots of work. So that's where our money goes. And the teams that I've worked with since 2004, being this 3 administrations, they all brought different personalities. But everybody brings some expertise to the table, something that you can rely on them knowing. Michael brings legal, Alan in this term brought financial. And I'm all about human services, social services, taking care of the people. So everybody had something and everybody worked hard on those things. So in June of 2011, a meeting with Leatherstocking brought gas to homes in 2013. It was 2 years of talks, but there was gas in homes and residents in 2013, which is a good thing considering we sit on all of this Marcellus Shale. The people in towns can now benefit from the monies coming in. Ag preservation. Everybody know about ag preservation? To date, Susquehanna County has preserved 32 farms and over 6,300 acres in Susquehanna County. We use our Marcellus Shale Legacy Fund money to leverage state monies for that. So we put money in every year to help preserve farms. The successes we've seen are no increase in taxes from 2006 to 2012, 1 mil reduction in your taxes in 2013, 2 mil reduction in your taxes in 2014 and 15. I think that's a big deal. Not raising taxes and then reducing taxes. We've done mapping and readdressing to help protect the citizens so emergency vehicles know where to go. We've improved security in all the county buildings. And we're in a joinder with Lackawanna County for our behavioral health, intellectual disabilities, and early intervention programs because we ourselves could not afford to be in a program by ourselves. We have to join with Lackawanna County to be able to take care of our citizens. And we pay $112,000, and between the two counties, we get $3.5 million in services. So I think it's a big deal. I just want to say, I'm going to close with, serving the residents of Susquehanna County is a privilege, and it's something that I don't take for granted. You gave me the privilege in 2003, and I'm now asking for your support this time. So thank you.
Well, that takes care of our candidates for commissioner. Oh, like this. Yep.
Sounds good. Let's go.
This is Arnold. Deputy Arnold.
Well, at the Lincoln Day dinner, I start with A, so I got to go first. I thought that was terrible. But now after sitting here and listening to everybody say everything that I wanted to say, going last is worse. So I pretty much don't have to say much. I feel the same way that the rest of the people here do about keeping the momentum going, keep going forward in a positive direction, and that we have to have a good team of people that can work together as a team for the betterment of our community, for our county, and for the residents of it. Everything I've done in my life, I've owned my own barbershop, I've been in real estate, and in the last 5 years I've been working in the oil and gas industry, learning about that, which is kind of important these days around here. Everything I've done, I put my heart into it, I work hard, I'm dedicated, and I try to do the best by my customers, whether I was selling their house or helping them find a home or I was giving them a haircut. I did it to the best of my ability, and that's what I will do. If I'm voted as your county commissioner, I will work hard for the people, to represent the people, and just keep this county moving forward. I am working out of town right now. Some of you know that, some of you don't. It's made it very difficult to run the campaign on Saturdays. So I drive 2 and 3 hours to go to work, Monday through Friday. I come back Friday night. Saturday I go as hard as I can to see as many people as I can to get my signs out. When I'm in the grocery store, I have people talk to me. I have parents talk to me, parents that have lost children in the last year due to drug overdoses, due to suicide. People just pour their hearts out to me, and there's programs that we need to have in place. We need more support for these things. They need to be addressed. That's dear to my heart, and as well as economic development. As a person that's driving 2 and 3 hours to work, and I've lived here all my life, and raised in this county on a dairy farm, I would love to be able to stay right here and work, and I'd love to work for you people and serve you. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited about my sign. I have something coming from my truck now. And I just want to say this whole journey on this campaign, the best part of it for me has been reconnecting with people from my past that I haven't had time to spend for 10, 15 years. And I've been able to sit down like the Brookses and visit with them and reconnect with them. And that has been so much to me, and everyone's been very supportive and encouraging, and I thank you all for that. Everybody have a great day.
Okay, are there any other candidates for county commissioner? Okay. We will go next to the candidate for the judge of the Court of Common Pleas, Mr. Jason Lake.
Thank you for having this terrific event today. And I guess when I was watching all the folks coming up to get their license plates, I was thinking of 2003 when Alton Arnold showed up in my law office basically demanding a check for a membership to the Farm Bureau. So, you wouldn't think Alton would do that. It's kind of surprising. But I've been a member and it really is a terrific organization, and thank you, Alton, for getting me involved with it. I listened to Dave Williams talking about the next generation, and I was trying to think of what I could say up here in 4 minutes to kind of emphasize how important this position is, that being a judicial position. And I thought about my experience when I served on the Interbranch Commission for Juvenile Justice. That was an 11-member statewide panel that was created after the Kids for Cash controversy in Luzerne County. And I was selected to serve on that panel. And it was a pretty intimidating experience at first. I can remember being in Pittsburgh and meeting Justice Castile, Chief Justice Castile, and a lot of other people who were pretty much legends in Pennsylvania. These are big power people. And we got thrown into the fire into trying to figure out could it be that a judicial system that's designed to protect rights, designed to protect children, designed to avoid taking children out of their homes, to become a place where in Luzerne County 50 to 60% of the kids were being placed, and they were spending close to $14 million a year putting kids outside their home. What we got to see over 2 years of testimony, over 60-some witnesses, was a system that just went terribly wrong. And I can tell you that it went terribly wrong from the top. This was a situation where there was several judges who never really understood or accepted their role and their responsibilities, and quite frankly, their privilege to serve their citizens. What was the most astounding thing about the entire experience was the attorneys that came before us and testified, and just how many of them essentially said, what were we supposed to do? It's the judge. How could we take on the judge? And I began to realize that, first, we were very fortunate here in Susquehanna County. I had the privilege of serving my entire practicing career in front of Judge Siemens, who universally, when you talk to other attorneys who come from outside the area, rave and tell me repeatedly, I wish I could practice in Susquehanna County. The reason for that is Judge Siemens always demonstrated patience, empathy, compassion. He was a person that never made it about him. It was really about the litigants, and it was about the kids. I was thinking when Joe spoke of the quote from Lincoln about power, basically testifying to someone's character, I also thought of Lord Acton's words that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That was Luzerne County. And a judge has immense powers, to the point where even people trained in the law in Luzerne County felt powerless to do anything about it. So that experience taught me that a judicial officer really starts and sets the tone for the entire legal community within the county. And as district attorney, I've had the immense privilege over 12 years to make hard decisions and to work with Judge Siemens and a really terrific local bar. And as great as that privilege was, I can tell you that it pales in comparison to the responsibility of being a judge. I'm looking forward to it. I thank you for your support. And the only thing I would really ask you for is for your prayers. Thank you.
Our next candidate for County Auditor, Susan Jennings.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Jennings, and I'm running for re-election to County Auditor. I've served, this is my second term I'm serving, and I love my job, the people I work with, and that's why I'm running again for a third term. I live in Brooklyn Township with my husband James, and in addition to serving my post as County Auditor for 2 terms, I also have a bachelor's degree in accounting from National University in San Diego, and I also have an associate's degree in business administration. I have over 45 years experience in accounting, corporate and financial banking, the insurance industry, and auditing. I believe my experience and education helped me greatly in performing my duties as county auditor. As auditors, we have many duties, but part of our duties include we determine the adequacy of the system of internal controls within the county offices. We investigate compliance with organizational policies and procedures. and we verify the existence of assets and ensure proper safeguards are in place to prevent or discover fraud. We reconcile every bank account that the county holds, either monthly or yearly. Many of them we do monthly. And we also examine every check that's written so that there's backup to it, and an invoice and a paper trail. I have a very high work ethic, and I will continue serving our county with integrity, fiduciary responsibility, and due diligence. And I thank you for attending today. It's been a pleasure to be here, Donna, and as usual. And I hope you'll vote for me on May 19th. Thank you.
Our next candidate, Mr. Jason Miller, running for county treasurer.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'm proud to say I am a recent member of the Susquehanna County Farm Bureau. And the first meeting I attended, I was blown away with how much that this organization does do. So I give credit to the board members and the members of the Farm Bureau for everything you do. Our 33rd American president once said that America was not built on fear. Instead, America was built on courage, on imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand. That president, Harry Truman, led our nation from 1945 to 1953. As your future county treasurer, let me do the job at hand with courage, imagination, and an unbeatable determination. I know our deeply rooted American work ethic and our hardworking way of getting things done right here in Susquehanna County. Having been born and raised on a dairy farm, I am a native of this county. I'm a Mountain View alumnus. For the last 21 years, I've worked in the banking industry after attending the Pennsylvania College of Technology and the American Institute of Banking, where I received my degree in banking and finance. I'm also one of the original members of the class that graduated from Leadership 2020, which was a program to help develop leaders right here in the county. Other leadership roles I've taken include being the past president of the Greater Susquehanna Area Chamber of Commerce. I've been a member of the Rotary Club. Currently, I'm the Vice President of Hartford Agricultural Society, which organizes and runs the Hartford Fair. And recently, my active faith has called me to be the treasurer of the First Congregational Church of Hartford. Being born and raised on a dairy farm, my parents and my grandparents instilled in me the values of hard work. With our 2 children, my wife and I also believe in the value of hard work, long hours, and the dedication to the causes that benefit both humankind around the world and right here in our Susquehanna County communities. Harry Truman was a passionate man. In front of the nation, he could speak volumes from the heart. In front of you here this afternoon, let me do the same now. I would like to be your next county treasurer because I have the drive and the skill base necessary for local leadership. I would like to be your next county treasurer because I have the financial background to do the job well. With my attention to detail, I'll continue to monitor the county funds with a focus on customer service. I will continue to work with the staff that's in the office to provide the best possible experience for our residents of Susquehanna County who are looking to purchase the various licenses that are available through the county. Finally, I'd like to be your next county treasurer because I say this simply and sincerely. I want to help others where I can. Being your only candidate for county treasurer who's currently endorsed by Catherine Benedict, our current treasurer, I feel I'm the right person for the job. Again, my name is Jason Miller, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 19th.
I held several positions, starting in customer service, management, and then on Hank Butler's death, I became the chief financial officer. I have extensive computer experience, and I established the first computerized payroll system at PenCan around 1990. Currently, I'm the Director of Marketing and Group Sales at Elk Mountain, and I held that position since 2007. I've been an elected auditor of Hartford Township since 2002. I'm currently serving as the Secretary-Treasurer of the Endless Mountains Visitors Bureau and as Treasurer of Endless Mountains Theater Company, which is a bonded position. This position has required me to learn grant writing, and to date I've written approximately 25 grants, securing between $15,000 and $20,000 for the nonprofit organization, which may not sound like much. 25 grants, $15,000. The grants have ranged from $500 to about $3,500, but in an organization of that size, that represents 20 to 25% of the total budget. I've collected gate admissions at the Hartford Fair for at least the past 25 years. Past treasurer positions for UNP Investments and Hartford Volunteer Fire Company. I learned income tax preparation from H&R Block and began preparing taxes with me in 1988 for tax year 1987. During that time, I prepared individual, sole proprietorship, fiduciary, and corporate returns. I worked with H&R Block for 7 seasons and have continued tax prep on a non-commercial basis for family and friends continuously. I believe I have a lifelong passion for learning. Social media and website management are my current pursuits, and I currently manage Elk Mountain's website, Facebook and Twitter pages, and the Facebook page for EMTC. When I graduated from Mountain View, I received the Republican Women's Service Award, which I'm pretty sure was presented to me by Carol Masters. I remember saying to her and the other ladies that I thought I would someday run for county treasurer, which brings me before you today. I believe that my broad range of financial experience and my transferable skills have prepared me for the position of Susquehanna County Treasurer, and I respectfully ask for your consideration and support. Thank you.
Please bear with me, I'm going to make sure that I marked everybody off. Okay, we'll have the next candidate for County District Attorney, Marion O'Malley.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marion O'Malley. I'm running for District Attorney. I think I still have some time left. The first time there are some patterns emerging in the room today. As I listened to Jason talk, I realized that he and I had a very similar experience. Not too long ago, Elton Arnold found his way to my law office, and he asked me to get out my checkbook because I needed to become a member of Farm Bureau. I was happy to see Alton that day. I'm happy to see him anytime he comes, and I gladly gave him a check, and I'm happy to be a member of this organization. The first meeting that I came to, I was asked this question: so what's your story? I have to admit that the question took me back just a little bit, but I quickly came up with an answer. And ever since then, I have been thinking about that question: what is my story? As I stand before you today, I want you to know that I am a lifelong resident of Susquehanna County, except for the time that I left to go to law school, to college and to law school. I worked for a short time outside of the county, in Monroe County and in Lackawanna County. I came back here in 1991. I met my husband, who I think you all have met because he graciously came up and accepted my, my plaque for being a new member. He and I are both from families that have lived here for a long time. We have roots in this community. Tom and I were fortunate to have 2 children. We raised them here in Susquehanna County. They are now, right now, out of the county at college. We're very proud of them. We hope someday that they will return here. My father, some of you may remember my father. He was the judge of Susquehanna County for 20 years. He was also the district attorney before he became the judge here. I would like to follow in his footsteps in that regard. I have been here I've been here in Susquehanna County since 1991. I began a private practice at that time, and during the course of the 23 years that I've been here, I've had the privilege of serving Susquehanna County in several different capacities, including acting as the assistant district attorney. I have done that for 14 years. The first time I did it was for Charlie Aliano, and that was for 3 years. And since then, for the last 11, almost 12 years, I've served as our county's only assistant district attorney under Jason Lay. In addition, I have served as the solicitor for children and youth services. I did that job for over 7 years. It's an important job, and I enjoyed it very much. It gave me the opportunity to work with people committed to the care and safety of the children of this county. That was work that also was done in the district attorney's office while I was there. In addition, I've worked for Susquehanna County Domestic Relations. I've worked for a number of our county municipalities. And as I've said, I have a private practice. My private practice requires me to manage a small business. The district attorney's office is a business. It is also a law office. It has issues that include budgeting and personnel and other administrative requirements. I am capable of doing all of those things. In addition, there is obviously the legal part of being a district attorney. In the 14 years that I have worked as an assistant district attorney, I've done every aspect of the job. I have appeared in every court in this county, not only before the Court of Common Pleas, but also in all of our magisterial district courts. I am familiar with all of the county offices. I know people in the supporting services, including the I've barely gotten started. 7.5 minutes? Okay, I'll wrap up. In any event, I have, during the course of the time that I've been here, I've served on our county's interdisciplinary team, which deals with child abuse and domestic violence. That has allowed me to work with supporting agencies such as the Women's Resource Center. My roots are in this county. My family roots are here, my professional roots are here. And on May 19th, I would ask that you give me the opportunity to take all of the experience that I've had here in Susquehanna County in the last 23 years and put it to work for all of you as a district attorney. Thank you.
Next candidate for district attorney, Patrick Daly.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pat Daly, and I'm also running for district attorney. I was born right here in Susquehanna County, born and raised in Jessup Township. And when I came back from law school and college, I moved to Franklin Township. I married my wife, Renee, who's also been a lifelong resident. And we live with our 2 children, Melina, who's 6, and Owen, who's 18 months. The only time I've left the county was when I went to Boston for college and law school, and then when I was serving 4 years as a submarine sailor in the Navy. I incurred a lot of debt and a lot of expense to learn. There's no place like home. But when I came back, I clerked for Judge Siemens for 4 years, and after that I went into private practice. In private practice, the bulk of my work is criminal law. I average about 100 cases a year in the criminal realm as well as the civil cases. Within the civil cases, I protected the interests of children as the attorney for children and youth. I protected battered and abused families in protection from abuse court. And I've got to see firsthand how these victims are, not as somebody looking at them as victim, but looking at their advocate, their lawyer. Community involvement. I belonged to the United Fire Company in Montrose for the last 27 years, only because they let you join at 16 and I couldn't join any earlier. As I said, I was a submarine sailor in the Navy for 4 years in Grosvenor, Connecticut. The spirit of Joe's letter to us, how's the role of district attorney affect Susquehanna County? In a nutshell, the role of the district attorney is to make our county safe and make its residents feel safe, that they're protected from crime. And how's that accomplished? Well, everyone knows the district attorney is an attorney. So if he has to go to trial, he has to prep witnesses, he has to investigate the case, he has to negotiate a settlement if there's a settlement to be had.
or he has to prepare for trial. These aren't skills that are limited to a prosecutor. These are skills that are basic skills of any trial attorney, be it civil or criminal. And all three of us have those skills. However, in addition to that, the district attorney is also a department head. As Marion said, they run an office. They have to work with the county commissioners on a budget. They have to manage personnel. These are all things that anybody in a small office has to do when they run it. They budget, they handle personnel. In addition to the office, I learned those skills through the fire company in the Navy, where I held different administrative or firefighting posts, or in the Navy, supervise others. However, in addition to that, I believe there's more to being a district attorney. As a firefighter, I learned the best way to fight fires is prevent it. That's what we live by. So the best district attorney is the one who helps to prevent crimes. They have to take a proactive approach in teaching members of the community about the laws of Pennsylvania, what's permissible under the law and what's not, and the consequences, both in the criminal realm and in their life. They have to help the community become more active, more proactive at stopping crime. The police can only do so much. We have limited police resources. Our community is our best option. They're all over the county. They see things that the police don't. They can let us know. So we have to educate them as to what to look for and how to do that safely without putting themselves in harm's way. And that way it can get to the police, and they can work to solve any crimes and get crime off the streets. And finally, they also have to help rehabilitate the defendants. This is the worst part that people want to hear about a district attorney. People want criminals to go to jail. Eventually those people are going to get out. And part of sentencing is punishment, but the other part is rehabilitation. And we have to look out to fix the people who can be fixed. Many criminal defendants are residents of this county. They've lived here all their lives. They don't know anywhere else. They don't know anybody else but the people that they've been involved with. We have to fix that. In order to accomplish these goals, you see the great jacket doing behind me. In order to accomplish these goals, we have to work with other agencies. It's not something that you do yourself. We have to work with the state police from Gibson. We have to work with the local police, probation, children and youth, tree hab, the county commissioners, and the Susquehanna County community as a whole. You need somebody who has experience doing that. I've worked with all these offices for 14 years, some of them on a weekly basis. Additionally, you have to be able to fund the projects that you're needing to do. And with the commissioners, they've done a great job keeping the budget balanced, so just, excuse me, sometimes there's not enough money to go around. So you have to go find that money. In the fire company, I've written grants that accumulated over $500,000 for the Montrose Fire Company, as well as helped others. I want to put that experience to work as the district attorney to help fund programs. And you also have to know that the district attorney is not a 9-to-5 job. In my lifetime, I don't think I've ever had a 9-to-5 job. In the Navy, you worked until the ship got back. In the fire company, you work until the fire's out and everything's cleaned up. In closing, what I'm asking is, I'm not offering to help the community if I get a job. I've dedicated my life to helping and serving the community. I would like to continue to do that as district attorney. I grew up here in a time where people didn't lock the doors on their houses and their cars, or parents would drop their teenage kids off at the movies and not worry while they went shopping. I don't see that anymore, but I would like to get that back. And I'm not promising I can make that happen overnight, but I am promising that I will work to make that happen again and be the community that I grew up in. So thank you, and I ask you to consider my vote on May 19th.
I don't know about you, I'm getting tired. I have to keep your attention span now. I don't know why you're so falling asleep here.
But Joe, you get their attention when you step up behind them. They act like that. Dear God.
Well, I try not to act like that. We'll next go to another candidate for County District Attorney, Robert Klein.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Robert Klein, and I am proud to say I'm running for DA of Susquehanna County.
My wife Kelly and I, we got married back in '91, and we chose Susquehanna County. We bought our land, we cleared it ourselves, we built our house. I was actually the general contractor on it. I know what it's like to swing a hammer, lay concrete, wire a house, lay the tile. I'm a hands-on guy. I drove for 4 years to Widener University down in Harrisburg, 3 nights a week while I worked, and I also did an internship in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Binghamton. During that time as an intern, I was actually able to argue for the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. I was told I was the first student to ever do that, and there's only one court higher than that, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the Supreme Court of the United States. Of all cases, it was a drug case. People have asked, why you? And it's simple, experience. I dedicated my entire legal career to being a prosecutor. It's an honor and a privilege to represent the interests of victims. I have done it my entire career, driving back and forth to Lackawanna County. It's almost 15 years and a lot of miles. I've done thousands of cases and dozens of trials. Everything from murders, rapes, robberies, arson, thefts, you name it, I've done it. People say, well, there's 3 lawyers running. What's the difference? There's a big difference. A prosecutor has to put 12 people in that jury box. We have to convince all 12. Sometimes it requires experts. Maybe it's on forensic pathology. Maybe it's on weapons. Maybe it's on crash reconstruction. And we don't have the ability, like a defense attorney, to just get a redo. If we don't get that conviction, if we don't convict or convince all 12 of those people, it's done. That victim will not get justice. All a defense attorney needs is one, and we have to retry a case. If they hang that jury, we have to spend all that money again, pay for experts. We can't afford to take those chances. Trials are too important, and I have done dozens of trials. It's important to have real prosecution experience. People have also asked, what are you going to do about drugs? Everywhere I go, from every corner of this county, people are concerned. I sat across from people, and they're actually in tears, and they said, you know what? I actually got to sleep last night because my son or daughter was locked up, and I know they're not going to die from a heroin overdose. Everywhere we go. Now, we're in the headlines. 2 charged in this fatal stabbing in Halstead. Mobile meth lab, Langsville Township. There's a takedown of suspected drug dealers in downtown Montrose. We're not supposed to be in the headlines for things like that. We're supposed to be known for the Hartford Fair. We're supposed to be known for the Blueberry Festival, quality things. I had the skill sets. I have worked with the communities in order to teach them how to be great witnesses, not vigilantes, how to be great witnesses. You need true leadership as a DA. I have done it. I've dedicated my entire career. I ask you folks, stand with 8,000 members of the Pennsylvania State Police who believe I have the skills and the training and the experience to be the next DA of Susquehanna County. Fight crime, vote crime is more than just a slogan. It's a philosophy. It's a way of life. Please vote. I appreciate it. It's important. Our safety of the community is at stake. Thank you.
Our next candidate for County Registered Recorder, Ryan O'Connor.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to speak. I am Brian O'Connor. I am running for the position of Register and Recorder in Susquehanna County. I bring to the table experience from multiple places that I believe will help me in this position. I have a bachelor's degree in history from the University of Scranton. History is a passion of mine that I truly enjoy, and so I understand the importance of recording the history of this county while it is occurring. I am a first lieutenant in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard and I'm currently stationed at the New Milford Armory. This position gives me the privilege of serving not only my state and my country, but also serving my home county. Yeah, I have myself the papers. As an officer, I need to be organized, and I need to be able to handle multiple problems at once and reacting to an ever-changing situation. I have been responsible for over $21 million worth of equipment and nearly 40 individual lives at any given point in time. I led a team that set up and manned 12 security roadblocks during the 2013 presidential inauguration in Washington, D.C. I am well versed in being the leader of the team. As a township supervisor in Great Bend Township, I have worked with the people in my community to address issues and to solve problems. This involves getting out and meeting the folks in the township, checking on road conditions, and following up with solutions. As a customer service manager at Tall Pines Farm in Kingsley, I wear many hats. In 3 months last winter, November, December, January, I scheduled and coordinated 271 service calls, solved other issues over the phone, worked on the sales floor, and went out to customers' homes to help them with their specific appliance. I was born and raised in Susquehanna County, and as you can see, my life is based here. I have spent years working to improve the area that I call home. As an Eagle Scout and a member of Boy Scout Troop 89 in Great Bend, I have taken part in many community service projects, like taking care of local cemeteries, preserving buildings at Old Mill Village, and helping to build a concession stand at Blue Ridge School, Mrs. Warren's son's Eagle Project. I am an active member of my church, St. Lawrence Parish in Great Bend, where I was baptized, confirmed, married, and now where my son Patrick has been baptized. I have volunteered on Great Bend Halstead Ambulance since I was a teenager, and so the time on the clock has no influence on my willingness to help others. I still want to help to improve my community, and I would be proud to serve at the county level. I hope that you will support me in this election. I am Brian O'Connor, and I am running for the Register and Recorder. Thank you.
I remember the old days, his shoes. I looked at my shoes and his shine was 100% better. I could tell a military man right off the bat. Okay, we have next Terry Bullock running for County Register and Recorder.
Thank you very much. As introduced, my name is Terry Ann Gulick, and I'm running for Register Recorder of Susquehanna County. I was born here and raised here in Susquehanna County. Actually, I was born over here in the old Montrose, the same year that it was built. So we won't talk about how long ago that was built, but and I was raised in New Milford, where I have raised my 2 children. Shania couldn't be here today. She's working. Unfortunately, my Ashley had to leave because she has 2, and I'm not being biased or prejudiced, but 2 of the most beautiful grandsons anyone could ever give me. So she did have to leave, and was very apologetic for that. In the past 16 years, I have worked at the courthouse in the assessment office as the chief county mapper. I am responsible for keeping an inventory of all property parcels. That includes me being able to read and decipher deeds that are recorded so that you are taxed properly, your acreage is kept correct, and I also use a lot of resources in the recorder's office because there's many times where there might be discrepancies or people don't always know how to read road deeds because if you've looked at them, they're very confusing and it takes some kind of doing to figure them out. So I've always been very open to people because I feel that as working for Susquehanna County taxpayers, you actually pay our wages. We work for you. It's very important that when you come in the door, even the seasoned people, the realtors, the searchers, they'll come in, but they still need help because we are there to know the resources that we have for you And people come every day, they're confused, they don't know what to do. You need to guide them. If we don't have an answer right then and there, I will make sure to point you in the right direction to go find that answer. I have a very strong work ethic. My family, it's generations of hard workers. They've instilled that on me, and I truly believe in working very hard. I've never been afraid to work hard. Even as a single mom of 2 girls when they were 2 and 6, I have worked all through the years to make sure to provide for them. I believe that every person that comes to that courthouse is very important for what you need from us. In those years, I've also been a New Milford Borough Council member. I was appointed in 1998 to fill a seat, and I have been re-elected every 4 years since. This proves my dedication to my town, and I am truly dedicated. When I make a commitment, I follow through that commitment. I work with 6 other men and women, so it's not that I do it on my own. There's many personalities, there's many feelings, there's many times we walk in, we'll have 6 agree on something, 1 disagree, but when we walk out, we have that borough in best interest in mind, and we take care of things. I celebrate the good, but I'm there to help them with the bad and the emergencies. I serve on many committees at the borough, always have, one of them being the budget. There are 3 of us on the committee. We keep a very tight, we watch every line we make sure that the borough is taken care of. However, we don't want to spend foolishly so that we don't have to raise tax dollars. In fact, we have 0 real estate tax. We only have 1 mil for our fire department. So we work very hard to take care of the money in the Milford Borough. I'm also a member of the Susquehanna County Council of Republican Women for many years. Every year I volunteer and serve on several committees because I believe in getting out and helping people, because it's my community, it's your community. You have to get out there. If someone doesn't step up to the plate and help, we can never get anything done. In closing, this far. In closing, in all the years that I have been here an adult in Susquehanna County, I volunteered for youth groups all through my kids' schooling, as well as being on council and working full-time to take care of them. I've been on booster clubs, the school groups. I was a Girl Scout leader. I am very dependable. I am very committed. As I said before, I have a very strong work ethic. I am not afraid to work. I love working with the public. I am very efficient, and I am extremely organized. And I stand before you today, and I humbly ask for your support on May 19th and vote for me for Registered Recorder. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're the next candidate for County Recorder and Registered, Mr. Thomas Charles.
Good afternoon. As Joe said, I'm Tom Charles. I'm running for Registered Recorder. A little about myself. I lived in Susquehanna County all of my life, except when I was at college. I'm a graduate of Buck Lake High School, where I excelled in, amongst other things, geography and history and social sciences. As I said, I went on to Penn State University, where I was involved in many offices in many offices in clubs when I attended the Worthington Scranton campus. I graduated with a degree in information sciences, and from there I went on to work at Lee's Radio Shack in Montrose and Cinnamon Manufacturing in Oliphant, where I had experience working with the public and in logistical and clerical positions. I believe that these positions have helped me gain the experience that would help me be a top-notch registered recorder. As I said, I would like for you to vote for me on May 19th. Thank you very much.
We have a candidate next, the registered Register and Recorder, Wendy Zapolsky.
Hello everyone. I'm not familiar with using microphones, so I hope I'm far back and I'm not blasting everyone on their seats. I'm Wendy Zapolsky. I am running for the office of Registrar and Recorder. I was born and raised in Susquehanna County by my parents, John and Kathy Aldrich. Some of my very best memories in childhood was of my uncle's farm in Mayfield Township, trying to treat calves like dogs, where we bathe them and try to make them walk around with us, which anyone who ever tried to lead a calf before is not an easy thing to do. I was an avid member of the 4-H when I was a kid. I loved horses, and they taught me everything I needed to know about horses, and I competed in 4-H competitions. I was an exhibitor at the Hartford Fair, so I have a lot of great memories and experience with that kind of thing. I am currently residing in Chocolate Township with my husband and my 2 children. My qualifications are that I have a computer science degree from Broome Community College, an associate's degree. I am currently a title insurance agent and licensed in both New York and Pennsylvania. And for those of you who don't know what a title insurance agent does, anyone who wants to buy or mortgage their property, they go to a bank, the lender needs someone who's going to close the mortgage loan, they need a title search done, maybe a title insurance policy written. And that's what I do. I search the property records, the very records that the Recorder of Deeds is responsible for keeping. I examine the documents, to make sure that they look above board, all the property transfers were done properly, that there were no defects in the title and things like that. And then I would close the mortgage loan or the purchase transaction for the customer and make sure that the documents are properly recorded. I do that not just in Susquehanna County, but in many counties in Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania, and also all over New York State. So I have a lot of experience with the way documents are recorded in many different counties. They all have their little variances. A lot of counties are doing electronic recording now, which Susquehanna County's documents are scanned and available online that you can view them, but they don't currently accept electronically recorded documents. So that is something that I have experience with that Susquehanna County is not quite doing that. I have to say that I'm not a political person, at least I haven't been. I decided to run for this position just because I love the job. I love the records. I think it's a very, very important thing. This Recorder of Deeds is responsible for keeping these records for the county. Deeds, mortgages, easements, leases. You need someone in that position who understands these documents, knows the difference from one to another, and is organized and can just keep track of everything. I was an assistant vice president in charge of mortgage processing at a savings bank before I became a title agent. And so I have experience with managing a small staff, budgeting, just about every aspect that the Recorder of Deeds job involves. So I could talk up here all day long about what my qualifications are and more specifics. I don't want to bore you, but if anyone does have more questions about title insurance agents and how that relates to Recorder of Deeds job, then I would be more than happy to address those questions for you afterwards. So in closing, May 19th is the primary. I would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, finally. I hope none of you are molded into those comfortable chairs that you have. Our next candidate, Register for Recorder and Registrar Michelle Esterberg.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Estabrook, and I'm a candidate for Recorder of Deeds, Register of Wills, and Clerk of the Orphans Court. I'm sure many of you are familiar with some aspects of the office, whether when you come in to get a copy of your deed, oil and gas lease, apply for, get a copy of the marriage license, or have to come into probate in the state. Over the course of a year, we handle roughly 14,000 documents and collect several $1 million for the Commonwealth, and manage over 6 bank accounts. The Recorder of Deeds office handles recording deeds, mortgages, maps, any land document. The Register of Wills handles appointing a personal representative in the estate, along with collecting inheritance tax returns and inheritance tax for the Commonwealth. The Clerk of the Orphans Court handles guardianships, adoptions, terminations, any appeals from the Register of Wills office. And it's very important to have somebody with experience in all aspects of the offices. It's much more than just recording a deed. We have court files we have to keep up to date on. We have to make sure all the paperwork is filed, forms are collected, and disperse all the different monies to the municipalities in the Commonwealth. I graduated from Mountain View High School in Kingsley and King's College in Wilkes-Barre, where I received an associate in science degree as a paralegal. I've also taken continuing education courses through Penn State's Worthington campus, focusing on estates and civil procedures under their paralegal program. I've worked in the office for 27 years alongside the current Register and Recorder, Mary Evans, who I have the honor that she has endorsed me to replace her in the office. And it's been an honor to have her train me in all aspects and to be a great mentor to me. I look forward to continuing back scanning our old documents so they're preserved for future generations. And we do have the capability to do e-recording. Mary just was not a favor of doing it herself. She said the next person in office could take that over. And also, not only for deeds, but in the future, possibly, court filings could be done electronically. I ask for your support on May 19th, and it was an honor to be able to speak here today. Thank you.
Are there any other candidates out there running for any office?
I'd like all of the candidates. We'd like to have a group picture, and our photographer had to leave. So, Bob Perhags or Jim Barber, you can get some pictures, okay? So how about all the candidates like someplace here, so that we can get a couple pictures of you, okay?
Here. You wait till May 19th. So I wish you all luck in running, and the rubber meets the pavement now, so get your sneakers and shoes all shined, and you have a lot of work to do for it.